sets fire to this whole city.
No.
Siege.
I mean,
You
incidentally,
woke up.
incidentally.
Everyone woke up or was interrupted in the middle of the night by the sound of a blaring horn coming from outside the inn. And outside you can hear the storm raging, the rain pouring down in bucketfuls, and thunder occasionally pealing into the distance.
Like an alarm?
Yeah, there's a horn playing outside, like a kind of like a war horn.
I'm in bed. Are we in?
At
Are
the
we?
moment, yeah, everyone
Alright.
is in the middle of their long rest in their room when they wake up to the sound of the horn.
Alright, get up and put on my armor, my boots, and grab my stuff. And go outside to see what's going on.
Same. Since it takes
For
me,
most of you, it takes no time at all, but for Wilfred, it would be several minutes to put his armor on, so.
yeah, I was gonna ask Giles to help me out because I'm assuming he's awake too, right?
He did wake up for the alarm, yeah.
So I'm gonna ask Giles to help me put my armor on, and then I'm going to leave him the Orcish cleaver just in case, something happens to him,
Oh,
or if just in case he needs to defend himself. Listen, we don't know what's going on, so I gotta go out there and make sure everybody doesn't get themselves killed.
Well,
well, I can try. I've never helped with armor like this before, but I'll do what I can.
Don't worry, I'll tell you how to snap the pieces together. It'll just go quicker if we have two
Um,
people.
so everyone else is done, like, is all prepared in moments because you all wear light armor. But not Wilfred. Wilfred is. It's gonna take him about 10 minutes, so. What would everybody else like to do in the meantime? Remy, you said you wanted to head outside and see what's going on?
Yeah, look out in the hall, see if I see anybody out moving around. Maybe guards are moving, or who knows what.
In the hallway, you see Kamal. He was the dwarf that you met last week.
Yep.
He was playing the bagpipes up on the stage, and he's kind of staggering out of the room across the hall. Seems like he probably had a little bit too much to drink. Uh, but he's already turned away from you when you come out the door, so he's headed for the stairs already. You could interrupt him if you want to, but otherwise he's just gonna head up the stairs probably.
Um, I'll be like, what's going on, and just kind of follow him, like not necessarily try to stop him, but
It's, it's a horn, probably the wagon. Gotta get down to the docks and see what we can do to stop him.
the what?
He said it's probably the Sawagan, and we have to get to the docks to try and stop them.
Right, but I don't know I don't think I know what a Salagan is, so that's why in
That's
character
true.
I'm like, the what?
The Sawagan, fish boat, shark, whatever it is.
Oh, okay. I mean, I guess I'll come too.
fish boat, sharks or something.
Oh, the alarm is because of sharks?
It's because of the Sawagan,
The
which
fish
is
people.
one of the... Yeah, they're fish or shark people,
Oh.
and they're they're a pretty consistent problem in Imrat. They attack a lot of dwarven settlements because they're built on the coast.
Which room was I in? Who was I rooming with? Was it Remy?
You were rooming with Zeta again, I believe.
No.
Oh no, she was with Marble.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I think you remember with
Then
me.
yeah, it would be Remy.
Okay. So then I'm with Remy then. As soon as he walks out, I'm going with him. Putting mage armor on myself and then sticking right next to him.
I'm gonna ask where Marble is, if he has any idea what's going on. So I imagine this woke him up.
Marble has not done this before. Only been to dwarven settlements handful of times. Horn
doesn't
is
know.
usually a sign of warning, though. He knows that a horn is a sign of warning, but doesn't really know anything else going on. We'll come upstairs. Not sure how much help that I will be. It's
Yeah, we're
outside
down.
is where you're hearing the alarm, and the rooms
are downstairs.
are underground in this inn.
Oh, I missed that. Okay. Well, let's go. I wanna see if I can help. I'm sure my friends are up there looking already. So she hits the door.
You see, a lot of people are leaving their rooms. Pincus is coming out and, like, pulling his chainmail down over his head still. Remy and Luthien are coming out just a little bit ahead of you. And you see, the Dwarven Bard from last night, or from earlier, further ahead than them. It seems like any of the adventurers, or at least able-bodied people, are on their way out to see what's going on. Or to help in some way if they can.
Is there someone, like, walking by that I can stop and ask what's going on?
The hallway is filling up pretty quickly with people coming out of all the doors.
So Zeta puts her hand up and says, "Hello, pardon me, does anyone have any idea what's going on?"
Unless Remy or Luthien wanted to relay something, I think Pincus
I
is
just
probably
say,
the closest.
I just say no, but we're going to go find out. You should come along.
All right,
Where
right
frogs?
behind you.
Where frogs?
All right, so I'm definitely coming your way then. So, because for them to alert an entire city, whatever it is, it's not small.
As you come back up to the common room of the inn, you can see the woman who was running the counter earlier is back there again, but she's kind of She's in a nightgown with a cap on and everything. She was probably settled down to bed already. But she's giving some hurried orders to a group of dwarves that go bounding at the door almost right away.
I'll follow
As
them.
people come up from the... You just follow them right away?
Yep.
Okay. What did you want to ask in particular? I just woke myself, but Swag and Raid were thinking... Sawagan, the shark folks out in the water. They attack the boats once in a while, sometimes try to push up into the town. If the horn's blowing, means the night guard are overwhelmed, so... Any able-bodied adventurers will pay in for Sawagan heads. We'll organize a defense just in case, but definitely head down the docks. East of here, straight down through the market.
Alright, sounds good. So she catches up. Zeta catches up with the group and passes that info on.
So we're gonna switch to another map? Because this one just has a little bit
Map hype!
more detail outside of town.
Am I still getting ready in the room?
Yep. 10 whole
Oh.
minutes.
Yep. Hey guys, get ready to fight without me.
We don't need you.
Just pretend I'm not there. I'm just I'm gonna be far up north.
Is that what you're doing?
I mean, I'm not around, so I have no idea what's going on. I'm just getting ready to fight.
Maybe you should just sleep in your armor from now on.
Dude, no way.
It does actually come with penalties to sleep in heavy armor.
I would imagine so.
Exhaustion. Which maybe once is fine, but after it can get really annoying to sleep in heavy armor. Like the penalties are not worth it.
So Kamal is gets out the door ahead of everyone else. There's the dwarves that you saw already headed down are a little bit out ahead. And there's one of them is kind of like shuffling awkwardly because he's carrying this massive pillar almost on his shoulder. It's a little bit longer than he is tall and about as big around as his waist. You're not really sure why he's carrying it, but it looks more or less like he's carrying a battering ram.
Okay.
But fires are starting to light up, so you can see lights showing coming on in windows all through the town as you head down towards the dock.
Alright, do I see any of these things yet? These enemies? Your raiders?
On your way down the hill towards the coast, you can see the shapes of boats in the water. But with the storm clouds blocking the moon, like blocking the moonlight, it's not very bright, so it's kind of hard to make out any specifics.
All right. So these do
But
these
when-
represent the boats?
Yeah.
Okay.
But about halfway through the market, you see a flash of lightning, and then you can make out figures on the boats. At least the ones that are closer.
Okay.
You see figures fighting on the boats, but you don't know, like, specifics from this far away. And it's when you reach the end of the... When you reach the end of the market, there's a switchback that extends down towards the beach, with 3 sharp turns zigzagging back and forth so that it doesn't go so steeply that you wouldn't be able to make it.
Okay. I'll just follow the dwarfs until I get, say, within, I don't know, 90 feet-ish.
Okay, they're not quite as fast as you are. They're just stocky and short. Their legs just aren't long enough to
Yeah.
have good long strides. So you could outpace them pretty easily.
Yeah, all right. I'll run up ahead and I mean, are these boats like right up to the shore? Can I get onto the boats? I assume the combat is on the boats, right?
These
at this
ones are...
point?
These 2 are still on the dock, but the other 3 have pulled further away. It seems like the 3 have been unmoored from the docks and are starting to drift out to the sea.
Alright, I'll jump onto one of the boats here. If I can get down there and get onto the boat.
From the top of the last of the 3 switchbacks, you could probably leap straight onto the boat here.
Alright.
But it is like a 15-foot jump out and almost 20 feet down.
I don't know, I'm feeling pretty spry for some reason. Like, I don't know.
Mhm.
It's kind of
Do it.
weird. It's kind of weird, but like I feel more spry than usual. So I'm gonna try it.
Okay.
Having followed
And
him
I'd like
over there,
an acrobatics check.
Okay.
having followed him over there, how far away is he and I right now as he's running down to jump over onto the boat right there?
Remy is a decent distance ahead of you, probably 30 feet or so.
Mhm.
With the cunning action, he's got a higher action
Right.
economy for speed, so he's probably getting some distance. You're still ahead of the dwarves, but not by like a wide margin like Remy is.
So how far from this boat here would I be? Ish.
You're still about the same distance away from it, like 15-ish feet horizontally. But it's vertically, you're 35 feet, maybe 40.
Okay, so like 60, 70 feet, nothing like super crazy, not so like super far away then.
No.
Okay.
Alright. So Remy, sprinting down in the rain, for whatever reason, you're just feeling really light on your feet and slipping to, like sliding almost to a stop on the corner of the switchback. You decide instead of turning and running down the hill, you just take a running jump, kicking off the edge of the rock, and launch yourself out into the air, rolling when you land on the deck.
Whoa. Okay,
come up.
I made it.
On the aft castle. So you're like right behind what appears to be a very fish-like humanoid with clawed hands and they have a spear in one hand. Sorry, I just had to check the weapons.
A spear or a trident?
It is actually a spear.
Is he fighting this one of these?
Yeah, there's 2 of the fish people and 2 dwarves. The dwarves are wearing like light chainmail and carrying wooden shields. But they don't seem like they were prepared for this fight, and both of them have mild wounds that are, they've probably sustained over the past couple minutes.
Okay, I'm gonna just attack one of them with rapier.
Okay,
See if I can try
you
to
do have
surprise them
surprise
from
on
behind.
this,
Okay.
so roll me an attack with advantage. And then roll me damage with sneak attack.
So 19.
Okay. Coming up into a crouch from your roll, you thrust with the rapier and drive the entire blade from just beneath his ribs, and it slides all the way up through his chest and the point pokes out his far armpit. He doesn't die, but he's definitely very badly wounded by it as blood spatters across the deck, washed away almost instantly by the rain.
Alright. I'm gonna use my...
Now I need everyone to roll me initiative.
Alright. Oh, I didn't have myself selected, did I? Crap.
That's okay, I'm getting it now. Now for the really, really long part. So it's in that moment when you land on deck, Remy. You hear another crash of thunder as lightning lights up the sky. And you see figures on the other boats as well.
Alright.
Sorry, I'm just realizing I probably could have preloaded all the initiative rolls for this.
No worries. That's a lot of Sanghag winds, though.
Howwen.
Sahag winds. There you go. Sahag winds.
Sahugu wins.
Sea monkeys.
Oh shit, sea monkeys.
Sea barbarians.
The one guy kind of looks like, I don't know if you ever remember, like in the old like comic books way back in the day, they had like sea monkey advertisements.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think of when I see that guy.
So apparently it's pronounced Sahuagin.
Sahuagin?
Yeah, I just looked it up.
Weird.
Like hooligan.
Yeah, Sahuagin.
It's like Sahuagin? Like who again?
Who
Say
again?
who again? Say who
Sahuagin?
again? Yeah. Yeah. Sahuagin? Say who again? Weird. I hope you realize I'm gonna be saying this, even though I'm not saying it to the chat. I'm gonna be saying this like for
Say
a
who
while.
again?
Yeah, I'm gonna say that right now. I love that you guys are in this huge fight and I'm still putting on my armor. Curse you, heavy armor. Why must you protect me so?
There we go.
Hmm.
Um, so, Wilfred, you're hearing, like, boots brushing upstairs, across the floor above you, the horn blaring again, more horns joining it, shouting voices. It sounds like whatever's happening is escalating quickly. So if you choose, you can just stop putting on your armor and rush out with just your chainmail instead. But you'll still be late to join the fray.
Yeah, like if there are multiple horns going on right now, I might as well just head out right now. So I just tell Giles to stop, stay here, keep an eye on everything, and I'm just gonna run out with my my greatsword, my longsword, my warhammer, and my shield.
Okay.
What
So
about
you
the
do
others?
have your chainmail on, but you don't have the full plate on.
No problem.
You managed to get, like, your bracer and, gorget on, but... Or your bracer and your breastplate, and that was it.
Well, for now, I'm gonna be equipping my sword and my shield. So that puts me up to 18, and then I'm just gonna rush upstairs, look for somebody, and ask them where's everyone at.
Chainmail and socks with sandals.
Maybe.
Oh my god.
The worst of the fighting's down by the docks. Probably where you should be headed.
So pull out my longsword and just start charging out the door.
Mm-hmm.
Those idiots better not
So,
die while
first
I'm
up-
not there.
First up is Remy.
I'm going to try to finish this guy off. Do I still get advantage because flanking?
You do for flanking, yep.
Okay,
That's a hit.
11.
So you withdraw from the first thrust, and with a flourish, He turns to face you, and you just bring the sword back across, and the point opens up his throat. And that's about all she wrote. And he collapses to his knees in front of you,
Alright,
and then falls on his face on the deck.
and then I'm gonna, like, see if I can hit this other guy with my, with the club.
Mm-hmm.
Like, step up, and, let's see. I take off advantage. Ooh, nice.
And that's a hit.
It'll be 6.
Okay.
And DC is, let me double check for you.
I believe it's just 13, right? Doesn't matter, you rolled a 1.
They got a 1.
Nice.
Well, he rolled a 2, but he has a -1 on charisma.
Mm. Being a fish person will do that.
Alright, and assuming I still have move action maybe left over, well,
Mm-hmm. You've only
yeah.
used 10 feet of movement this round.
I'm just gonna shout, you know, I think you guys can handle this one now. And I'm gonna try to hop over onto the other ship.
Okay. Making a running leap, you jump, kick off the rail on the edge of the deck, and leap the gap over to the next ship. But you're jumping from the aft castle down onto the main deck. It's not a very far jump for you, so I'm not even gonna get you to do a acrobatics check. Your passive
Alright.
acrobatics is more than the DC anyway.
Yeah, I'm just gonna try to kind of put myself in a position to kind of maybe let's see, I don't know if I can't really put myself in the middle. Maybe how do I do it? Is control down control? I don't know, but try to put myself in a position where I can create a flank for the guy over here.
Okay. Yeah, the
Maybe here. I don't know if
ovals
he's
are just kind of representative of the boats. This is still on it.
okay. And
But that uses
yeah, I
about
mean,
everything you've got.
yeah, I can probably move further, but I couldn't attack anything anyway, so kind of wait for.
So the rest of you who are running down the switchback, you do see Remy basically leap out into open air and take out a Sawagan and then jump to another ship in the span of just a few seconds, leaving behind one shark person with a slightly askew tricorn hat dancing a merry jig really confusedly. And so Kamal is coming down the ramp just a bit behind the rest of you. He's at the back of the group of dwarves. since I assume Zeta and Luthien, you both chose to outpace them too, right?
Should be able to, yeah.
Okay. So Kamal comes up behind you, Zeta, actually. And I'm trying to think of how to flavor this. He gives you a slap on the back and shouts out, "You get down there, we're gonna take care of this."
He said, "You get down there, we're gonna take care of this."
Yep. And
Eh.
he cast heroism on you and on himself.
Oh.
So you're immune to frightened condition and gain temporary hit points. Every turn, you gain 4 temporary hit points.
Cool.
It
Wait.
doesn't stack up though. It's just you have 4 temporary hit points that you get at the start of your turn, and if you lose them, they come back
Wow.
at the start of your next turn.
So Zeta feeling suddenly filled with this overwhelming confidence out of nowhere. Looks like she's just been given some sort of drug.
And then you hear him, like his voice breaks out over the rain and the storm and everything, and you hear him as well, Luthien. You throw magic, right? You can hit him down there, go for it! And you gain a D8 Bardic Inspiration, which you can use
They
on
are
any
biting me.
saving throw, ability check, or attack for the next minute. So just check the
And
Yeah.
she can use it
inspiration
after
at the
too,
top of
right?
your sheet to remind you.
She can use it after too,
Only
right?
Luthien has it.
Oh,
Zeta has the effects of heroism, Luthien has the inspiration.
cool.
But inspiration only hangs around for so long and then it'll go away if you don't use it.
True that.
Did you say how many hit points Zeta gets?
She gains 4 temporary hit points at the start of every turn.
Cool.
So on her turn she'll gain 4 temporary hit points, and then if she loses them, then she'll regain 4 temporary hit points on her next turn.
Hey, that's cool, like a little shield.
And it also gives her immunity to the frightened condition, so she can't be scared of something.
Sea creatures.
And the dwarf towards the head of the group, the one carrying the great big stone pillar, skids to a stop just behind you, Luthien, before he, like, almost checks you off the edge. And bends down really deep, holding the pillar, like, just inches off the ground. And then with a heave of effort, he stands, throws his hands up in the air, and hurls the pillar down at the Sahuagin. And he has inspiration because he has advantage because he's dancing. So he's no longer dancing, but now he's stunned and prone instead.
Damn.
As this giant stone pillar, well, not giant stone pillar, but roughly person-sized pillar crashes into his chest and slams him flat on the deck. and then we get to Zeta. And you're pretty much right beside Luthien. The dwarf who threw the caber is between the two of you right now as you're at the top of the last switchback.
So I'm at the top.
You're at the top of the last ramp headed down to the beach. So you could head down onto the beach and then take the dock out to the ships. Or you could try to jump from here onto the closest ship.
Now, here's my question. Like, how about these guys that are out in the water? And then,
You mean on the other boats?
yeah, could I, as maybe Wolf, make a leap from shore onto the boat?
Like from here?
Right. Exactly.
That's... I'm not gonna say it's impossible, but it would be really, really hard.
Right.
Because it's a very narrow strip of beach, so you'd have not a whole lot of space to make the turn
Run
to
and
jump
jump.
towards the boat.
Right.
And it's about 10 feet out from shore, and the deck is about 10 feet up off the water.
Gotcha.
So if you did make the jump, it would be really, really close, and you'd be like just hanging on with your paws and chin.
It's not worth it. Okay. So, since Zeta has this, I don't know what, just an aversion to any kind of fear suddenly, I just imagine her giving some ridiculous roar and jumping towards the boat that Remy is in. I imagine heroism might make you a
Okay.
little irrational as well, right?
Brave is more like it.
Well, same difference when you're
They're pretty much the same thing, I'd imagine.
right, a little bit. So yeah, I mean, I would think she would normally like run down the stairs, but she's not afraid of anything right now.
Okay.
So I think she's gonna make a jump and try to do what Luthien did. This may not go
Make
well.
me an athletics check.
This may go really bad.
Okay, so you run up the ramp a little ways to get a little closer to the ship.
Uh-huh.
Thankfully, the jump is pretty, like you have a lot of time in the air before you reach it.
Mm-hmm.
But you realize as you kick off of the stone ramp that it's gonna be really close if you make it. And I need you to make me a dexterity save.
Oh shit.
You can do it.
Oh.
Oh, but you can't.
But I had to stick to character.
So you leap. You make the leap, and you're going like feet first towards it. And you notice your feet aren't gonna land on the boat.
Oh shit.
So you try to pitch yourself forward and grab onto the rails so that you don't fall into the water. But when you hit, you pitched a little too hard into it, and you slam arms and chin into the railing, and then
Oh,
flip over backwards and spill into the water.
splash.
So you're gonna
Grunt.
take 4 bludgeoning damage from
Oh, I got
smashing your
lucky.
face on the railing.
I got really lucky.
That's not
And
very
then land
lucky.
in the water in a little bit of a daze. You
It is
used all of
lucky.
your movement though.
Well, I am lucky though. I get those 4 points back thanks to his heroism covering my overly confident ass.
Yeah, so she didn't lose any health actually.
Right? It was just ungraceful. But I think it was appropriate for the character, you know? If she's feeling all like, I can do anything, she's gonna try to do anything.
Well, good luck with that.
And that takes us
Can't
to
always
the
win.
stunned Sawagan, who is no longer stunned but is still prone. And the stun wears off at the end of his turn, so he can't do anything. And this ship drifts out a little bit further. And then it's Luthien's turn.
Okay. Alright, I will. Well, he's gonna. Yeah. He's prone, right? This one over here?
Yeah.
Okay. But he's not stunned anymore?
No.
Okay. I'll do Scorching Ray at a level 3. So 2 to him and 2 to him. Assuming I can see them from my vantage point. I assume I can.
Yep.
Okay. So then I shall do that. And wow.
It is dark, but with dark vision you can see okay.
I don't think that's mattering right now. So that was the guy on the left.
The first one hits.
Oh, okay. And then those 2 are for the guy on the right.
So it's only the second one misses.
Oh, okay. So
Roll me the
guy,
first damage first.
9 fire. So that's the guy on the left.
Okay.
And then the guy on the right is 16.
So as you launch the blasts of fire out in their direction, you see the rain in those areas just suddenly cease to exist and blast up in clouds of steam between you and them. And even around them for a little while there's steam rising off their bodies. It doesn't kill them, but you do see, like, blackened scorch marks on their scales. Well, they're not scaled because they're shark people. On their hides. And the second one, you blast a big chunk of, like, the fin on the side of his head completely off, which is slowly oozing blood down the side of his neck.
Nice.
And you hear a shout from one of the boats up ahead, pained, ah! And, none of you really make out exactly what happens, but the dwarf on deck is stabbed through the stomach and then bitten on the side of the head and finally collapses under his wounds. And the female dwarf on the first boat that Remy had jumped to makes a swing with her pick down at the Sahuagin on deck. And he manages to roll to the side, shaking off the dazedness from being hit by that caber. So instead of being just gored through the chest on the pick, he manages to bring his arm up in time, and his spear shatters under the blow. His arm also gets the pick driven straight through it, but he's stubbornly still kicking. And then the Sahuagin here is trying to fight his way up the stairs onto the castle, which is where the one dwarf is here. So he's trying to fight uphill. But has no luck at all, and the dwarf guarding the stairs manages to bat the spear out of his hands with his shield, spilling overboard into the water to disappear into the depths.
The spear
And the
does?
other boat drifts a little bit further. Yep, the Sahuagin has been disarmed of his spear. There's another call out from one of the furthest ships as another dwarf gets struck down, speared through the chest, and then clawed across the face. And the Sahuagin that you're in behind right now, Remy,
Uh-huh.
does notice you. He thrusts his spear in the direction of the... Oh, I'm supposed to have advantage on that. Ooh!
Oof.
In the direction of the dwarf ahead of him. Which he fails to block in time, just the very edge of his shield catching the point as it deflects off and spears him through the shoulder really badly. But then turning, holding the end of the spear with just the one hand, he whirls on you and swipes his claws in your face. Quick on your feet though, and probably still slipping around a little bit from suddenly jumping onto a bucking deck in the storm. You tip backwards, bouncing off the railing just enough that his claws swipe by inches from your face.
Nice.
And the younger dwarf who just got speared does have advantage on swinging someone who's not facing him because you're flanking on the other side. But his arm isn't working quite right with the spear through it. He brings his pick down on the back of the Sahuagin's head, and the point crunches into his skull, but the movement of his arm makes him drop to his knees, as it basically almost forces the shoulder blade out of his back.
Nice.
And again, the further ships drift a little bit further into the water. And the male dwarf on deck here comes down just as the other warpick is driven into his arm. And while the Sahuagin is snapping and cursing at them, brings it straight down on the tip of his nose and it crunches deep into his head and he just twitches to a stop. Which brings us back to Remy, and 1 second. There's another flash of lightning that rolls out across the ocean. You see the peaks of the waves highlighted in the distance. You also see something distressing, a very large silhouette beneath the waves as it starts to, the water starts to buckle and writhe and rise as a large shape starts to rise from beneath. An absolutely gargantuan shark is starting to rise up, but it can't come any further inland because the water is simply not deep enough.
Holy shit.
But you see it there
Whoa.
waiting. you to make me a perception check.
Nice.
Okay, so Zeta actually sees
Oh,
3 other
fuck.
figures in the water just ahead of the boats.
Is anyone else as speechless as I am right now?
I'm not even there, and I don't know what's going on.
My chin just open, like wow. Wow. What the fuck are those, by the way?
They look kind of like the Sawagin, but they're much larger, bulkier, and they have a tail instead of legs. I'll add the token in the Discord so you can see them a little closer up.
Toss a rope over to Zeta. Would that be a full action, or can I use a bonus action to do that?
You could use a bonus if you have, if like there's a rope already in position.
Alright, well, it is a ship. There's probably a lot of rope everywhere.
You're not sure what's
I
actually
see.
tied down though. So you could throw a rope, but you're not sure which ones are actually tied down. You'd have to take a... I think a
Okay.
full action would be appropriate to find a rope that's securely tied to send down to her.
Alright, so can I use... Alright, well, this guy's unarmed anyway, so it's not like he can do that much to me. So, yeah, I'm just gonna kind of like try to come over here, find a rope to toss to Zeta so she can climb up.
Okay, so it takes a few moments with your back to the Sawagin, but he seems pretty focused on the dwarf. Then you find a mooring line that was cut, but it was cut on the dock side. So there's still plenty of length that you can dangle into the water.
Alright. So I'll just like toss her the rope, and I guess I'll just use like my full action to just try to, you know, when it's her turn to help her up. Can I do that? Alright, I'll just do that. I'm just gonna not worry too much about that guy, I guess. Hopefully the other dwarves can deal with him.
I'm all stressed out right now.
Well, you are in the water.
There's just
With
a
open-
lot of baddies out there.
The fucking megalodon.
I know. I mean, I was a bit in shock when the giant shark was there, and then these creepy guys, evil mermans.
I was zoomed in, so I didn't see the fucking megalodon.
Sea people. Live in the sea. Look like people.
They don't look like people.
Look like fish people.
So I've gotta check his speed really quick.
Say who again?
Shadow over Innsmouth.
Oh
Wait, you get that reference?
So
no, one of those things came closer.
Zeta, as the flash of light from the lightning dies down, you see one of those ships seems to have noticed you, and as things fade to darkness, it's rushing straight for you, dipping under the keel of the boat.
Ah! Is there something? Can I do things? Anything?
Turn into
It's
a tuna.
their turn on the initiative.
Right? Oh, it's their turn. Fuck.
Turn into a tuna.
That was my plan, but I can't yet.
No, grab the rope and climb up. They probably
So your
eat
initiative
tuna.
says, or your armor class says 10 for some reason. Zeta's armor, it said it was only 10, but she's got 13. 15 actually with her shield.
Oh, that's right.
But both of those still hit,
Ouch.
and it swings right up to you. You see there's a rusted chain tied around the back of its harpoon, and the other end is tied firmly around its wrist.
She's got
Thrusting with
hide.
that harpoon.
She's
Yeah.
got hide, so it should be 12 plus dex bonus, right?
Hide is 13, I believe, plus dex. Or yeah, it is 12, so she's got 14, he's got 15.
12 plus dex plus
Because she
shield.
had-
If she has a shield too.
Yep,
So.
yeah, but her dex is 0,
Oh. Okay.
Oh.
so 12 plus 2 is 14.
Oh.
Well then, okay then.
So you thrust with the harpoon and you try to respond, but underwater you're not very confident in your ability to fight yet.
Mm-hmm.
And trying to bring the shield up, you're just too slow as it swings in. Thankfully, the spear doesn't go straight into your chest, but it glances across the top of the shield, and when it draws this harpoon back, the hook digs deep in your underarm and tears a ragged wound open on the inside of your arm,
Oh.
and it follows up almost right after with a sweep with the claws, which comes across behind your shield and rakes 3 deep cuts across your upper arm on the other arm.
Oh, that's not good. So how many hit points was that?
19 total.
Woo!
And it's very big. Its shoulders are about as wide as almost as wide across as you are tall. He's very, very big fish, and he's a very angry fish. Not as big and angry as this fish, though, as it makes an agonizingly slow circle in the water, just waiting for the boats to get out deep enough. Oh, and last round, the dwarves were shouldering their way down past you, Lucy, and I forgot to do that on the turn order. So Kamal has taken to the front of the group now, and rushing across the dock, is just reaching the gangway of the ship that you're on, Remy. And he's about halfway up. You have to check something really. He doesn't see what's going on underwater, so he can't do anything about that. But he does shout in the direction of the Sawagan on the stairs. Oi, fish face! Your mother give you those lips, or you steal them from a carp?
Nice.
Sick burn, brah.
Does 1 whole psychic damage.
You hurt its feelings.
It's one little feeler.
It does fail the saving throw though, so it has disadvantage on all of its attacks next round.
Well, at least there's that.
And the other dwarves are starting to rush up onto the boats as well. Unfortunately, the dwarf who was already on the boat you're on, Remy, was so distracted by the sudden and kind of bizarre shout that when he swings for the Sahuagin, he falls several inches short of actually catching him across the jaw. And so he swings a little too hard, overcommitting, and spills onto his side, rolling down the stairs.
Okay.
So he falls and rolls all the way to the bottom of the stairs. The Sahuagin notices just in time to jump over him. You being right behind him, Remy, I want a dexterity saving throw. Thankfully, he comes rolling to a stop pretty much right beside your leg. But he is prone at the bottom of the stairs, suffering 3 points of bludgeoning damage. And then it's Zeta's go again.
What do you do to that fish guy?
Come. I'm trying to toss you a rope and help you.
There is a rope that's like right next to you, but climbing the rope, the fish would probably make a swing at you.
I'm missing out this fight.
I want to go and
Oh,
be.
that's right, you didn't. I need you to roll initiative, Wilfred.
Yay. Twice, so. Okay,
I mean-
weird.
Bluefin tuna is bigger than these guys. Right?
It's also a large creature. It's a little bit smaller than them.
But still
but
counts
you
as large.
Don't know how to become one yet either.
Become what? The
A
tuna?
bluefin tuna.
Oh, I thought I spent time. Oh, then I have to go
You
for the
spent some
rope.
time with them, but you have to actually study to practice. Because you would have had to spend more time close to them to just know already.
Why is your initiative roll like so weird?
It's already dropping one.
I see. Never mind. Yeah, so the 19 is it. I didn't realize that's how it was working now.
Yeah. It rolls 2d20s and drops to the lowest.
How
It's
deep?
a really weird way, but
Mm,
How deep is the water where we are right now? Or where I am?
the water, about 20 feet deep.
Hmm.
So, the marrow in front of you, if he was to fully extend, his tail would be touching the bottom and his head would be like just the fins poking out of the water.
Oh, he's like 20 feet long? Or three of those? Oh, shit.
But that's tip to tip.
Right.
If he was to be human, for example, and his tails were legs, he'd probably be like 10 or 11 feet tall, maybe 13 at most. Oh, and to give some description on where you are in the water, by the way, you're not under the boat, but you're in the boat's shadow, and the dock is pretty much right behind you. So you could probably swim under the dock, and you're not totally sure if he'd be able to fit underneath it. but he does have a really long javelin, or a harpoon, sorry.
But then there's another retreat, which is gonna give him an opportunity to hit me, right?
Yeah.
So hide underwater more, or go for the rope are my options.
Or try to fight him back, but he
Can you turn
appears
into
to
a
do
shark?
a lot of damage. She doesn't know how to turn into a shark.
Well, she saw this one over here.
Oh, it doesn't
She
count.
sees it, but she has to spend time among the animals to learn how they think before she can actually become one of them.
How long do I have to spend with an animal?
It depends on if it's peaceful or not. So, like, the tuna probably would have been just a few hours because they just didn't really care about you.
I thought that's what I was
Um,
doing, though. I guess I wouldn't have quit if
You
I
split off. You split off and went to the bottom instead.
went to the bottom instead. Oh, for the giant
Yeah, you went and
lobsters?
checked out the coral. The
And
coral
then-
and checked out the lobsters.
But then I went back. Once I realized I
You
didn't
went
want to
back
be
with
a
the
lobster.
lobsters to the shore. Because
No,
you caught a lobster.
no.
and-
What I did is I went to the tuna, swam over to see what the lobsters were, went back to the tuna and hung out with them, and then once I was done hanging out with the tuna, I grabbed a lobster on the way back to shore.
Yeah, but you need to study
I
something.
guess. No, not necessarily. The amount of time that she spent with them then is really close, so I'm gonna say make me a nature check. To see if you recall enough.
That's fair. That is fair.
Yeah.
That's the way it goes.
Unfortunately, hitting the ship and getting attacked by this giant fish person, you're just under so much stress that you can't remember the time with the tuna very much.
Right. I'm gonna go for.
Honestly, it's probably better because this thing probably eats tuna. Like, that's probably his, you know.
But it would give her a big pool of temporary hit points.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now,
Wow.
how big is the ship compared to my wolf form?
Your wolf form is pretty close in total size to the Merrow here. And each boat is probably 12 to 13 feet wide at its widest, and 20 to 25 feet long at its, like, point to point. So your wolf form could fit on it, like on the main deck,
Uh-huh.
but it would be a little bit cramped. Like you'd have your feet, all 4 feet on deck, but your head and tail would be hanging off the sides if you didn't curl around the mast.
Right.
Climb up, you can do it.
Alright, I'm going for the rope.
Okay.
Shit.
Ooh.
Roll me an athletics check.
Nice.
So you grab the rope and haul as hard as you can on the rope, dragging yourself upwards.
Oh.
Jaws snap behind you, and you feel them cut deep, deep, deep in your leg. But you manage to pull yourself up enough that you roll out of the water onto the dock. You're bleeding badly from the leg, but you're out of the water.
Okay. Phew.
Is that movement, action? What does she have any?
That was just movement.
Take a healing potion.
Yeah,
or
that's
So
what
cast
you
a
still
healing
have
exactly
your
what I
spell?
was
action and
thinking.
bonus action, but you're prone on the dock.
Healing potion? I was definitely thinking healing potion.
Or you could cast a spell,
Okay.
maybe.
Well, I can't really become wolf form because there's too many people on the boat, and it'll basically
She's
probably
not. She's on the.
push everybody off into the water.
She's on the dock, not on the ship.
No, I'm on the
Yeah.
ship.
Take the rope
She's
that I.
on the. No, you're on the dock
How am I on the dock?
Okay.
because you couldn't pull yourself the whole way up. You pulled yourself out of his jaws, and then when you got out of the water, instead of pulling yourself the whole way up,
Yeah, I got
you
it.
fell onto the dock.
Oh,
you
I missed that
tried
part.
to pull your whole leg off. You pulled yourself out of his jaws, but didn't make it all the way onto the boat.
That makes sense because if
Okay.
you're trying to, like,
Yeah, it does.
run away from something and it hits you with an attack of opportunity, it stops you.
Yeah. So,
Well, the
heal.
big thing is that you'd have to climb. You're moving at half speed. Climbing a rope is the half speed thing. So it's a total of 15 feet, but it's 10 feet up from the surface of the water and you're 10 feet underwater. So you made it like halfway up the side of the ship. And instead of hanging just above the water while the marrow chomps on your leg, you threw yourself off the side of the boat onto the dock.
Oof. So, a healing potion, and what does that? Can I use the spell after that?
I'd say prone, digging around through your bag, it'll take the full action to dig out a potion, but you still have your
Okay.
bonus action that you could cast a spell with.
And I forget, there's certain spells I can use.
Shillelagh.
Healing word.
How strong? Oh, alright, so I could save my healing potion?
If you wanted to use a spell instead of the healing potion, you could do that too, yeah?
But what does that leave me? What spells are able to be used as a bonus?
All of the
Healing
ones
word?
that say bonus action, so Shillelagh, healing word.
Where does it say that?
Don't
Oh, I
forget, you
see.
would have had
when
4
you
temporary
open
hit
it up, it
points
says
too.
one bonus action. Yep. So the 11 from the bite is reduced by 4.
Oh, yeah, let me go back there. So that was 11. Okay.
You still have 17.
Oh, thank you.
That's okay.
So I hear like lots of different things people telling me, and so I'm confused as to where I'm supposed to go next. So should I or should I not use my healing potion?
It's your choice.
Okay. Well, I'm just hearing people's opinions, and I don't know which. I don't know which is the smart one.
If you want to, you can use your healing potion and healing word.
What size healing potion do you have? Do you have more than one?
I have just one.
And then it's a big one, right?
I don't know. I just wrote healing potion.
I haven't recorded all of the potions. Zeta has a potion of greater healing, and 2 potions of animal friendship.
I wouldn't use the potion. Just saying.
Alright, then I'm gonna do healing word on myself.
Okay.
So that puts me at 23.
And then you still have your action if you want to use your action for something.
Kinda cool to conjure something that could attack those creatures underwater.
Yeah, you could do that.
Too bad you're not high enough level to conjure water elementals.
That'd be awesome.
Well, she can conjure shark.
She can't.
Yeah.
Good.
A hunter shark? 45 hit points, wow.
Yeah, do that. Have him bite that guy that bit you.
And looks like, is Plesiosaurus an option?
She can do up to CR what?
2,
Yeah.
I believe?
Dinosaurs, you don't even have awareness of what they are. I cannot
Gotcha.
just say dinosaurs aren't part of the spells until you see dinosaurs.
Gotcha. And it's CR2, so yeah, hunter shark.
1 hunter shark?
1 hunter shark coming up.
Okay.
Summon a T-Rex and let him swim out there with his tiny little arms.
I can't do dinos.
I think a T-Rex is like a CR8 or something anyway.
Whoa.
And
That's a cool picture.
it's 45.
Have him
So where
bite
did you
them.
want it to appear?
I want it to appear near me and go after that one that scratched me.
Okay, I'm just gonna do something really quick.
Oh my god. The boats are gone.
They warped to another dimension.
I just moved it to another layer so that I could.
Yep, we're just underwater now.
There
There
we
we
go.
go.
Actually, where did the shark go?
The ships are running aground.
Oh, I see it. It's right underneath the boat.
Sharky.
It's attached.
Oh, there it is.
There you go.
Let me select the shark.
Sorry to make it complicated.
Sharker, shark peanut.
Why
Oh,
you
the shark's taking Remy.
It's not your fault, it's just because I have so many different things going on here with the verticality.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Oh boy, no, I can't move the boat.
Oh no.
Need 3D
Boats run
roll
aground.
20.
Boats done been run aground.
That's the worst thing about using sheeps in Roll20 is sometimes they just decide they don't want to move.
Use your imagination, fellows.
Can I move this one?
sea god doesn't want you to move his boats.
I'm just gonna make a new boat.
Yeah, with blackjack and hookers.
Oh, you reminded me of a friend.
No! No, I can't move it again.
I'm sorry to laugh at this, but it's amazing.
Everyone is the boat's capsized. Everyone's in the water.
Oh no.
I can use my imagination to.
Yeah.
know
Yeah,
how it is.
imagination station. It's good.
There. Ah! Okay. Now. I wish I had more layers than just map, token, and GM.
That's like an onion.
Yeah, I was about to do the same thing. Onions have layers.
Okay,
They do.
so you can make the hunter shark make its attack, or anything else you want it to do.
Yeah, I definitely want the hunter shark to attack the one under the boat.
Okay. And that's a hit.
Trying to play music. It's not working.
So that was a really big bite.
Ooh. Dang.
Oh, come on, I can't put the health and AC stuff unless it's on the token layer. I'm just gonna put these up on land so that we can see them.
Land shark.
This was a problem that I didn't
Land shark.
expect to be a problem.
Land shark. No, I love it. Let's do it.
Yeah, that's good. Let them fight up there. We'll pretend that they're still in the same spot.
Even though James Belushi died, we all know that means the land shark is gone.
Land shark.
So
Delivery.
Underwater, you see the green light that's familiar to you, with a lot of your magic coalescing into this large scarred shark that appears like right behind the marrow. Its jaw's already open and it's just stopping, like the light just is beginning to fade as the jaws clamp shut around its waist. And it starts to shake, and all the water goes from slightly murky and dark into blackness, and you can't see what's happening under there anymore as the water just fills with blood.
Nice. This is what you get, Fishman.
And the boats continue to drift a little bit further at a time. Roll20 decides to freeze.
No!
And then it's Lucian's turn.
Okay. So there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
I don't see any of the shit going on under the water, I assume. Because it is
Not
like
really,
under.
no. You're pretty
Okay.
high above it.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't like I couldn't see these guys like their fins or anything like that, right?
Mm. Make me a perception check.
This will go well, I'm sure. Oh, shit. Okay.
You can vaguely make out the silhouettes of very large, semi-humanoid figures in the water. Exactly what they are and where they are, it's hard to tell. So you could probably make attacks on them, but you probably have disadvantage because you're shooting under the water at something that's difficult to see.
Gotcha.
Can you shoot lightning yet?
I cannot,
Damn.
Not quite yet, no.
but I can put slow on all three of them plus this guy. And that's what I'm going to do. So,
How big is the area of slow again?
40 feet.
Yep. That's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Yep. That would get all three of them. And the one on the boat.
Yep. So, I think it's wisdom save. Yeah.
Mhm.
Alright. Wisdom save DC is 15. And they all fail.
All of them failed.
Cool.
Nice.
Nice work.
Super useful turn is super useful. So let's see, that's -2 to their AC and dexterity saves. And they can't
Mhm.
multi-attack anymore. Cool shit. Alright, that's it. I'm still gonna chill up here. Actually, you know what? Uh, is this boat here like actually there, or is it further down? I think it moved, right? With all the stuff.
Just a little bit, yeah.
Okay.
It should be more like here.
I'm like what, 20 feet up or something like that?
About 20 feet up and 15-ish feet away horizontally.
So a ways. Hopping down would be precarious to say the least then.
Yep.
And the dwarf where the dwarf is standing, that's the way down.
Yep.
Alright, I'll just queue up behind him then.
Okay. So that passes on to the Sawagan. And the slow one kind of like he's moving through molasses, hops his way down the steps and descends on the prone dwarf. Um, Thankfully, while the dwarf is prone, the Sawakin is going so slowly that his lunge for his throat is not so fast that it can't be avoided. But he brings his forearm up and catches the jaws on his arm instead of on his neck. So he's shouting and cursing at the shark person on top of him that's trying to eat his way through his arm. And over here, the dwarves are tossing the bodies overboard, and it looks like they're making ready to raise anchor and start sailing. Like they're trying to chase the other boats.
Wait, we need those heads.
Damn right.
Standing up, the dwarf who was stabbed in the shoulder with the spear, the younger one, pulls out the spear and a string of expletives that Remy really wouldn't feel like translating too badly. I believe it was Remy who spoke Dwarvish, right?
Yeah.
I believe I speak Dwarvish as well.
Yeah. Okay, so you vaguely make out the cursing in the distance, but can't really understand it over the thunder and lightning and everything.
Everything frightening.
Yep.
Indeed.
Well, there are a whole lot of sharks.
Galileo.
Or shark people. And this Sawagan, or this Marrow, rises head and shoulders up out of the water with his harpoon cocked back in one arm, and hurls it through the air at the dwarf on the edge of the boat here. Ooh.
That's not gonna feel good.
And he gets tugged overboard in just that instant.
Real quick, is Pimpkus back at the inn?
Yep, he was organizing with the rest of the group, to defend the town in case of other attackers.
Okay, just checking.
The dwarf who was tugged overboard makes his way up out of the water onto the shore, but the harpoon is still in his arm. So he attempts to pull it out. Oh, that was twice by accident. And similar to the younger one who was stabbed, he's shouting and cursing and blasted thing won't. Ah! As he tries to yank it out of his back, but just can't really get any position to get it out. And now this one pokes up out of the water too, arm pulled way back. And Remy, you're just looking in time to see the harpoon come flying out of the water at you. Thankfully you had enough time to jerk yourself to the side and the harpoon sails past and sinks into the railing on the side of the stairs instead. The chain
Okay.
goes taut over the railing, and then tug, you see the wood crack under the chain. And then the harpoon comes loose and flies back over the side into the water. And this was last round. Wilfred managed to catch up to the column of dwarves.
I'm here.
Finally have your armor on, Wilfred?
You don't see me. You're on the
No, he's
ground.
still just in chainmail. So the huge flash of lightning from last round, the thunder finally rolls in. Everyone is deafened this round and can't hear anything, as it's just a loud washing over everything. So it's your go, Remy.
Are these things out of the water right now?
They're head and shoulders above the water, so they're visible.
Well, I mean, I don't think, I think this unarmed guy is not really a threat. I kind of want to, like, jump on top of him. So I want to
Parkour!
run and jump onto this boat and then, like, run and leap off the edge of the boat and jump on top of this guy.
Okay. Roll me an acrobatics check.
Yeah.
So jumping from one boat to the other is not as difficult. It's, for some reason, all of you actually can see it. He seems to almost hang in the air longer than usual as he just bounds from one boat over to the other one. You've seen him jumping around a lot, but this is, it seems almost a little bit different. And then leaping off of the bow of the other ship, you come crashing down, landing with one foot on his shoulder and the other one on his chest. Make an attack with advantage.
Well, I guess white elves can jump. Har, 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 har. It was terrible.
Racist.
It's terrible. It's a movie from a bazillion years ago.
It's got Wesley Pipes in it.
And that's a hit.
Okay.
And then you still have your bonus section.
Um. See, I think I'm just gonna use my bonus action to like. Jump back on the boat for now. And maybe like.
Okay, I need another
or,
acrobatics check then.
yeah, like disengage and. Alright.
Well, you have the bonus from being a swashbuckler. You hit him, so you don't have to
Yeah.
worry about an opportunity attack.
Alright.
But it is a pretty far jump, so I need another acrobatics check.
Oh, I didn't mean the advantage, but the
Okay.
first one is.
That's alright, 22 was the first one anyway.
And I'm gonna like kind of like
so-
stand not to the edge, but like kind of move towards the back of the boat for now, or like about there, I guess.
Well, you spring off of his head with your other foot after landing on his shoulder. And you manage to get enough height to get back onto the boat. But it's only just, and it's with your offhand you manage to loop it over the railing and grab on. But you're
Okay.
still kind of hanging off the edge of the boat.
Okay. So like probably about there.
So it's my turn now?
Not quite.
Oh no, there's sharks.
What the hell is that?
And this is another really big shark. Kind of like your hunter shark. It's not coming for you, Remy, though. It's going after the dwarf that's bleeding really badly on the beach. And you just suddenly see, like, the head and up to the fins spring out of the water and snap down. And just completely clamp down on the dwarf. You see the harpoon poking out from its front teeth, and then it rolls back into the water. The dwarf is just gone. There's just a hand and a big puddle of blood on the rocks. And that's just turning into foam in the water really quickly, under all the rain. Now it's Wilfred's turn.
Okay, well that ruined my plan. I mean, I was gonna dive down there and help that guy up, but since he's dead now,
Why don't you keep helping him? Just cut him out of the shark's belly, man. Come on.
pretty sure he's dead.
We don't know that. You can lose a hand and not die.
I don't want to tangle with a shark. Plus, I need my two hands for weapons. Alright, well, so are the boats kind of like still on the dock?
Yeah, they're still on the dock, but the mooring lines are cut. The anchors are down, though. They didn't get pulled up fast enough.
Okay, well, I guess I'll just, I don't even know where to go now. Anyways, I guess I'll just run up past Luthien, and then I guess hop over to the boat and see if I can make it.
I need an athletics check then.
No problem.
Um, Thankfully you're not jumping as far as Zeta tried to, but unfortunately you're also wearing a lot more equipment. So I need you to make me a dexterity saving throw.
Okay, that's not good, but here we go.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So you come down and your feet burst and your shoulders are pitched so far back that you try to go forward, but you end up just lifting like one leg. And you come down, your knee lands over the railing, but all of your weight is all pitched backwards. So you slam into it, slide up, and hit your groin on the railing, and then spill over backwards almost immediately,
Oh.
Oh, that
tumbling
sucks.
headfirst into the water.
Okay.
And you suffer 4 bludgeoning damage.
That's okay. Do I see anything in the water?
You land upside down in the water, right in the big cloud of blood, beside the marrow and the hunter shark.
Wonderful. Can I see them or no?
Not really, you actually can't see much of anything.
Okay, well, do I still have movement to right myself?
You have enough movement to right yourself, yeah.
Okay, well, if the first chance I get, I'm gonna climb up the boat or grab onto something if it starts moving away from me.
Okay. So I'm just gonna put you up here so that we remember where you are.
Thank you.
And okay. Yeah, no, you don't hear it, but ooh, that's not good. Luthien is the only one that sees a very clear view of it. There's a sudden jerk in the ship up in the lead, and it slowly starts to pitch. Bow first into the water. The whole boat is starting to rock forward and go down. Wilfred, you don't really see or hear anything, but you feel the water displaced around you for a moment as something sharp zips by your head close enough that you feel your ear open up a little bit, trickling blood from your earlobe. As the marrow turns and swipes its claws, raking across the top of the hunter shark's head.
So it swung at me?
No, it swung at the shark.
Ah.
But you're just really close, and it's got very long arms, so it just swept really close. You can't really see what's going on, so you're relying on your sense of feel right now.
Hmm.
Or not anything up onto this one. So, Remy, you see the bagpipe playing dwarf coming running up onto the boat that you're hanging off of? And he doesn't get you up onto the deck yet, but he's got his arm on yours and helping pull you back up onto the boat.
Oh, thank you. I say in Dwarven, gracias.
You still can't hear anything over the... You can't hear anything over the thunder, though. You
Okay.
can't even hear your own words leaving your mouth.
Fucking dwarves are Spanish now. Okay.
Damn it.
So, clambering back onto his feet, the dwarf who took the spill grabs the throwing hammer that's hanging on his belt and flings it underhanded up the stairs at the Salagan that he just rolled underneath a moment ago. And it cracks him in the teeth, making him reel, but he doesn't fall. And that gets us back to Zeta.
Wow. So, did I see Wilfred fall in the water?
You
Probably
saw
not.
the splash of something falling in the water. You're kind of prone right now, so it's difficult to see much of anything going on as doors are rushing past you on both sides.
Oh, so I have to use an action of some sort to stand up? Okay, stand up, I guess.
No, it's just half your movement.
Oh, okay.
Could pull that guy off the boat with the thorn whip or something into the water. Maybe the
Ooh. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Well, sure.
you could try anyway.
That's a hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Might even kill him.
The top of your staff shifts from the wooden hook into this long length of flexible vine again as you fling it forward, and the thorned length wraps around his neck from behind and drags him right up against the railing.
Nice.
He doesn't spill overboard, but he's like, his feet are barely on deck and his whole upper body is leaned backwards over the railing.
Nice.
So he'll count as prone.
Can I get to the ship?
Yeah.
Even though I've used half my movement?
It's 15 feet to get, like, just barely on the gangplank.
Perfect.
So I'll just shuffle this a little bit.
And is it too late for me to fire up my shillelagh?
No, you still have your bonus action.
I'm gonna do that for now.
Okay.
And of course steady myself for the next swing. And my shark.
Bite the marrow.
Oh,
Is
that's right.
he in the?
I forgot about that. That's right. Yep,
Is
the hunter shark gets to make its turn.
Fluffy? Fluffy, go after the slimy one again. And be careful with Wilfred.
You didn't know it was me down there.
Or, okay, right, that's right. Kill the other slimy thing. The marrow.
Sorry, it's.
The
I
shark
had the
is
sheet
named
and then it
Fluffy.
just disappeared on me and it's being a butt.
No worries.
The shark is Fluffy.
Why not?
Is the shark fluffy or is it named Fluffy?
It's named Fluffy.
But is it fluffy?
No.
Then why would you name it that?
I don't know. Because
It's
it
not a
makes
fat
me
shark.
laugh.
What's the? It's not a fat shark. What's the point?
He is a fat shark.
Then he is
Wow.
fluffy.
Oh, that kind of fluffy. Yeah, he's fluffy then.
That's whatever that was. It was a good roll.
So, the jaws still clamped shut around the Marrow's waist. Fluffy gives a really rough shake and bucks around in the water and actually smacks into the side of Wilfred,
Oops.
kind of bumping you. You don't get hurt or stunned by it, but there's something very definitely nudges you hard and knocks you to the side a bit underwater, Wilfred.
Hey,
And then it's Luthion's turn.
Is that what you said? You said, hey.
Well, he's underwater, so he said blub.
yeah.
Fish goes flub. Cow goes moo.
Watch where you're going.
Okay. So that little bastard's still alive on that boat.
Mm-hmm.
How far out are those boats that are receding? Quite a ways, I'd assume, yeah? The
The
ones that
scale
does.
is actually accurate, so
Oh, well, then let me get my tool out. That's what she said.
it's 55 feet to the closest one, 95 to the furthest.
Cool. I have things I can do. Alright, let me check. It's 90. Okay. Be not that great. Yeah, that'd be pretty fucking funny, I think. Alright. Yeah, let me try putting grease on this ship all over the deck.
Okay.
Just completely grease up the deck. I think I can pretty much get almost the entirety of the ship. Basically, just like this little area in the front would be the only thing that doesn't get greased. Let me check it. I think it's 10 feet. Yeah. 10-foot square. So basically grease the entire deck with the exception of the just right there at the bow.
Okay.
Let me draw the thing.
So all of them are actually one of them. The first one has advantage because he's holding the wheel. But your DC is 15, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so he doesn't make it anyway. All three of them slip and fall in the grease.
Nice. Now the question is, with the boat moving, are they slowly sliding towards the edge?
The boat is like rolling. Well, not rolling over, but it's with the waves, it's going up and down. So, like, they would slide towards the back, and then they'd slide towards the front, and then towards the back, and then towards the front.
Slip and slide.
I would imagine grease would be really bad for like fish-based animals too.
I mean,
Wouldn't they?
what happens next
Well,
is
it
gonna
clogs their
be really
gills if
bad.
they...
Right? They can't
Inhale it.
breathe. They might not be able to breathe. Yeah.
I was just thinking what happens next on my next turn is gonna be really bad for him.
You're gonna throw a firebolt into it?
Fuck it, of course I am.
Sweet.
Okay.
I sent you the photo of a burning ship earlier. What did you think was going to happen?
Maybe you should have burnt the one that the thing's currently eating.
Hmm?
You know, the ship that the one's eating, the Megalodon?
Oh, that one.
Yeah, you should have set that one on fire.
I feel like
I
the
doubt it.
Megalodon's making that not a problem.
Mm,
He's already eating them.
I guess.
I mean, I guess I could set it on fire, but at the same time, I don't know if we want to fuck with that Megalodon.
It's a giant monster. Of course we're gonna end up fucking with it eventually.
You make a good point. I like the way you think.
Trouble like this attracts us. Sorry.
So the slowed Sawagan on deck, being like pitched backwards over the railing and in a bad situation, pretty badly wounded. Instead of standing himself up, he rolls over onto his chest and slips over the deck, overboard into the water.
Stab him, dwarf bro.
No, you're still on the gangplank. So you're on your way up onto the boat, but he's, like, still several feet above you. You see him go over, but you can't reach him. The dwarf here, though, does get an attack to make a try.
You can do it, dwarf bro.
And it does hit. Yep.
Yeah, dwarf bro.
So he makes the Sawagan rolls over and goes to push forward. And the dwarf rushes in behind him and brings the war pick down, straight through the back of his calf and nails his leg to the deck. And steps up the next few steps, holding his shield by the two edges, and brings it down on his head, cracking it open like an egg. Oh, they're not doing so well with that.
They're not very strong.
They're trying to pull the anchor up so that they can start moving, but they're messing it up.
It's slippery in the rain.
I have a feeling these creatures are used to slippery environments. They don't slip too easily. Maybe on grease, but not necessarily on water.
So the marrow that threw at the dwarf earlier kind of swings backward a bit as it reels back again with the harpoon. Throws it, but Remy, with the help of Kamal's grip, you spin from where you were on the side of the boat so that your back is against the hull, and the harpoon digs into the wood where you were just hanging.
Oh, thanks. That'll help me get up.
Don't forget to do a wisdom save for the marrow. For slow.
Oh, that's right. I haven't been doing those at all.
Yeah, I looked at the thing and didn't see any. Yeah, it fails that.
Nice.
I'll roll one for the other one too now. That made the swing at the shark.
Yep.
Nope.
He fails too.
That's
So
more like it.
finally the dwarves are starting to make some headway at pulling the anchor up. And the boat on the north side starts to shift, and it's gonna start moving forward.
Damn
And then
sure
the
wish I was
southmost
on one of
one
those.
fails and still doesn't move either. One of the Marrow manages to shake off the effects of the slow spell. And almost breaches the water as he launches himself up, all the way up until like half of his tail is still in the water. Grabbing the railing with his one hand, he thrusts his harpoon over the railing at the dwarf near the rail. And he uses the barb on the head of the weapon to drag him back towards the closer to the rail. And tries to chomp down on him. But the older dwarf seems to know what he's doing at least a little bit, despite just being stabbed through the back. And punches back in the Marrow's direction with his shield. And completely jams his jaws. So he's just kind of hanging on the side of the boat, his mouth stuck wide open around a shield. And that brings us back to Remy, still kind of hanging off the side, but using half your movement you could pull yourself back up on the boat.
Alright, I'll pull myself back up on the boat.
Okay.
And I'm gonna shoot an arrow at that guy from
The one on the other boat?
no, I think this guy, the guy that I was attacking earlier.
Okay.
Or I guess I'm right here. Is he still over above water? 'Cause he threw
Yes,
another
he's head and shoulders
harpoon.
above.
Okay.
He's currently pulling the chain back
And do
in
I
for
get
his harpoon.
advantage since he's slow?
No, but he has less AC than normal.
Yeah, he has two less AC. And he has half movement.
And
Alright.
that's a hit.
A 5.
It is an arrow that you're not sure you'll be able to recover, though.
Yeah, I thought about using a dagger, but that's why I used the arrows, because I figure I probably won't recover it.
Mm-hmm. They're still just rolling around like fish and chips.
Hell yeah. Oh yeah, that's kind of what we're gonna make here in a second, isn't it?
Oh yeah, and I yell, hey, if you set that boat on fire, I'm not paying for it. Because I see the grease from here, and I think I know what's going on.
You've only seen it like 100 times.
So the shark that ate the dwarf, comes up behind Fluffy and tries to get a bite. But Fluffy is just bucking around trying to tear the marrow to shreds so much that he ends up just swatting the jaws aside with his tail without even noticing.
Nice.
So we get back to Wilfred, who's kind of stuck in the middle of all this underneath the boat.
Okay, well, I have an idea where the attack, or the not attack, the swing came from. So I'm gonna use a feint attack to maneuver myself better and just shoot my sword out where I felt it coming from, to swing on the marrow. My longsword. So
Okay, sorry, I'm just checking something about the fainting attack really quick. Because I'm not sure if it would actually work if you and the other creature can't see each other.
from what it doesn't say I can see. It just says a creature within 5 feet, and it looks like it's
Yeah.
within 5 feet.
But the reason that you get advantage is because you're making a swing that's fake and baiting them into defending the wrong place.
Mm-hmm.
But neither you nor the marrow can see each other.
And I guess I could just use precision attack then. And just focusing on all the sounds, I'm just gonna shoot my sword out and hope to hit whatever this thing is.
Okay.
So would it still be a disadvantage?
Yeah, because you can't see it.
Yeah, but since it can't see him, wouldn't that kind of cancel itself out?
Kind of. But it's not as much that it's dodging around as much as it's being shaken around by another giant shark.
Oh, true.
True. Alright,
So it's kind of like trying to hit a piñata where someone's tugging on the rope and making it bounce all over the place. It's a really big piñata, but
still hard to hit.
yeah.
Well, either way, I'm gonna attempt to stab at this thing. So, longsword. Hey! I don't even need to use the
You
dice.
do hit.
So,
You thrust
damage.
blindly into the dark and you feel the steel bite into flesh. Go ahead and roll an attack to damage.
8.
Okay.
Take that. Now that I feel vindicated, I think I'm gonna try to swim up and try to get out of the water before whatever it realizes I stabbed tries to attack me.
So with your movement, you manage to pull yourself up. You swim upwards enough that you tug yourself up prone onto the dock.
I just stabbed something! And as I slump over the railing, I'm assuming.
Well, there's no railing, but you tug yourself up onto the boards.
Sorry I'm late, as I cough up water.
What's the megalodon doing?
It dives deeper and the boat completely dips under the waves. It's only the mast is kind of poking up a little bit still. Zeta standing up now, you see it as well as Remy and Luthien. The whole boat just disappears into the water. And they can't move it. There.
Zeta,
What?
I kind of want to ride on the shark. Your shark. I can fight them melee in the water.
Alright.
Shark rider. Imagine this. Your shark bites and I stab. Sounds like a winning combo to me.
Bear short cavalry? What?
Yes.
Okay.
I looked up
Okay.
shark cavalry, but that's what I found instead.
Pretty
Okay.
good.
A bear on a shark. I'm gonna do that one day. I'm gonna
I can tell right
conjure
now.
either a bear or a shark and be the other one.
I'll tell you what. When I get polymorph, I'll polymorph into a great ape, and then I'll ride on top of you as a rhino, a white rhino.
Boom. Done. I know I'm itching to be an animal, but these chips aren't that big.
You can do the moon lasers.
So long as the moon laser doesn't damage the ship.
Yeah, that is a concern, isn't it?
Now I'm talking more about these big old fish guys that are trying to kill us.
Right.
Are they? Or do they just want hugs?
I don't know, Zeta, do they want hugs? Oh, look out!
That's a big old nope.
Mm,
It stabbed your shark.
yep.
Uh-oh.
Now I've gotta do some maneuvering of tokens here.
Hey, Hitomi.
Hmm?
Is Gage probably won't be able to play for the rest of the day, huh?
Probably not for this session. It looks like the encounter is gonna keep dragging on. I did say that we probably wouldn't get to see him again until, Nargala, because that was what I had to do for last week when I didn't have any notice on him not showing up.
Right.
I can try to do like a one-off mini session for what he's doing, in the meantime. But I don't think I won't be able to do that tonight.
Right. Right. We're good on our end.
Mm. Oh, and Zeta, you lose heroism because of detect bots that Kemal cast last round. You
Ouch.
So you lose the temporary hit points that you got from that.
Okay.
But now that the thunder has died down, he starts pointing out immediately. There's 2 more sharks in the water! And he points to the spots where they were.
Oh, crap.
You know what? I've got this one. And he steps past Remy and leaps off the edge of the boat, swimming towards the giant sharks.
Wait, what?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Oh, dang. Okay.
Underwater, they're vulnerable to thunder damage. So, he dives into the water, comes up, and then dives again in front of the sharks. And then there's a sudden whoop as the water, like a bubble of air, expands inside the water and then explodes in this massive geyser of water, launching him about 10 feet up in the air in the midst of this just gigantic cloud of shark guts and bone, bits of marrow and just chunks of shark flying everywhere.
Whoa. Okay. Nice work. Bagpipe guy.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive.
So the collective effort, the dwarves are starting to raise the anchor on the other boat, but it's still not moving yet. That gets us to Zeta again?
Can I help them pull the...
You can help them with the anchor, or you can help the dwarf who's fighting off the marrow right now.
Oh yeah,
The
let
two
me
things that are
let
more
me
pressing.
let me help the dwarf with the marrow because I have my shillelagh charged.
Real quick, am I on the bottom ship or the up ship?
You're on the dock.
I'm on the docks?
Yep.
Oh, okay, I thought I was on the ship. Weird.
No, you swam and pulled yourself up onto the dock.
Okay. Hi, Luthien.
He's still on the switchback.
Oh, so he's
So
pretty
he's
far
still
away from me.
like he's up in the air above you, up on the pathway leading down.
I waved
You
to him.
jumped from right beside him before you hit your groin and fell in the water.
Sorry, okay, go ahead, Zeta.
So I'm gonna move in closer to get a good shot of the marrow, and she whispers into her staff as it starts to turn green and goes for a swing.
Go ahead and roll your attack.
Shit.
Oh, forgot to get you to roll something, by the way.
Ooh.
Remember from the item that you've got? When you did your leaping attack.
Yeah. I technically didn't use a dash action though, but yeah.
That's true. Well, you did after, but yeah, that's true. Never mind.
He's still learning. Like he doesn't know,
Yeah,
right?
I'm still learning the item myself.
He doesn't know yet anyway. I mean, I kind of thought about doing the dash thing, but then like he wouldn't know necessarily yet. So
That is a hit though, Zeta, so go ahead and roll damage. So you make the swing and your glowing staff cracks down on the side of his head. And there's a loud crunch as you see the side of his jaw twist to a funny angle. And it almost wrenches the shield out of the older dwarf's hands. But the marrow ends up just like hanging on by the one arm and leaning back away from the ship now from your impact, from your hit.
Nice.
And that gets us to Luthien.
Wait, what about Fluffy?
Oh, sorry, I keep forgetting Fluffy.
Bite him, Fluffy. Avenge me.
Avenge him, Fluffy!
Well, I'm not dead, so he's not really avenging me, but show yourself so I can hop on and, I don't know.
Oh, right, you want to
Ride
ride the the shark.
shark.
Alright, I'm up
I'm
with this.
not able to climb anywhere.
Fluffy, come over to where Wilfred is and let him ride you into battle and help you out.
But first let him bite that thing first, because that thing's a real jerk.
Oh my
Jerky,
god.
jerky
Okay,
face.
bite first and then go pick up Wilfred.
Yeah, come on, it'd be cool. Well, Fluffy did a freaking walloping on that dude. That double H was really cool.
That's a hit.
Whew.
You can do it, Fluffy.
It's my turn after Fluffy, right?
13,
Yeah.
nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. Nice.
Um,
Wait, what about this big reef shark next to Fluffy?
that's the one that came up behind him and tried to bite, but just got like tail swiped in the face.
Oh, right. It won't, but if I try to move away, won't he attack?
Maybe,
Yeah, it would attack.
Mmm.
I forgot one other thing, so I have to roll that really quick.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, Thunderwave has a
The other
15-foot
one?
radius. So that's 10 feet away,
that's
it's still
right.
in range.
Nice. Man, that guy killed 3 things in one shot.
Well, he rolled 25 damage, which when they're vulnerable to it does double. So it's 50 damage to
Right.
3 different creatures at the same time.
Oh, wow.
Man,
I saw-
wish I had Thunder Wave prepped. Dang.
I softened that one up.
Well, you kind of did. You stabbed it real good.
And I hit it
He's
with an
the
arrow.
same. He's only the same strength as you guys. I just tailored his spell list just for this fight
Yeah.
because it's the sort of spells he would have prepared since he's regularly defending the area.
So he knows what to expect, huh?
Mhm.
Well, I still want to ride on Fluffy, so if you could like make him just surface, though not enough to get bit, I'd appreciate it.
Is that even possible?
Not really.
I didn't think so.
half of the marrow rises back to the surface, like his chest and arms and head come up, but you can see the ragged chunks of meat from where Fluffy just ripped him completely in half, kind of dipping in the
Cool.
water.
Roar.
And that brings us back to Luthien.
Okay. Well, first I want to run down here and get on this ship before it takes off.
Mm-hmm.
That way we can.
You
hunt
can
down
kind
this
of reach
megalodon.
almost everything from up there, though, right?
Yeah, I can.
Just not with every spell, maybe.
I mean, I could pretty much hit everything
Most
that
of
we're
your
doing
spells
right
are
now.
too long range. Yeah.
It's just if it pushes further into the water, he wouldn't be able to.
Yeah, and if this fucking boat takes off, then I'm stuck. So this is the only marrow left, right? Just him? The other ones are dead?
Yep.
Okay.
One got
Alright.
exploded, one got fluffied.
Indeed.
Yep.
Motherfucking fluffy. Alright, I'm gonna shoot off a second level Scorching Ray. Our first shot's gonna go over here.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, let's set them on fire.
Which one were you targeting?
Honestly, just the middle one.
Okay. That's a hit. Roll the damage.
Ooh, 12.
Nice.
Double sixes, double six.
And then roll me a firebolt damage.
That's just 2d10.
Hmm. Fish fry.
And
So
then...
the deck is quickly just wreathed in flames and smoke as the whole top deck, minus the aft castle, are just all on fire and black smoke is quickly rising up in the air.
Nice. It's that good stuff. Alright, then my next two are just gonna hit him.
Mm-hmm.
No, I guess it won't. I'll go ahead and just roll that now.
Okay. Fortunately, there's nothing really in your line of fire except for him. Roll me another attack, actually.
I forgot he's short.
So the blast ends up hitting the boat way out ahead of you, striking just a little bit above the rudder.
Fucking burn
It
all-
doesn't catch fire though, because the wood is all soaked.
Okay. And then
So there's just like a big streak of steam through the air behind the fire as it dissipates.
trying to set everything on fire. Alright, and then my last attack is also going to be on him.
Mhm.
Oh, hey.
Oh,
okay.
come on.
Alright then.
What happened?
I don't know, man. Wild magic. I'm a wild magic wizard.
But it's not, though.
And this one... rather than going forward like you intended it to, blasts straight down at a sharp angle in front of you, and instead hits the deck, making a large circular flame that sputters out almost immediately, but you do take 3 points of fire damage. Zeta takes 2,
Oh,
Excuse me while I set all of us on fire.
and the dwarf who was bleeding so badly before succumbs
No!
to his wounds and slumps against the railing, collapsing to the deck.
You killed the wrong
What?
person.
Wild magic wizard, man, leave me
Okay,
alone.
I'll say. Since it's just like a minor burn and it puts him to exactly 0, I'll say he's just incapacitated, not dead.
Oh,
Wild magic wizard.
yes.
Can't help it, I get excited and start throwing fucking fire everywhere. If it makes you feel any better, that ends my turn though.
That does make me feel better. Ah. They're leaving without me.
Well, this one's been going for a little while.
Yeah. I'm still at the docks.
So a lot of the Sawagins seem to be diving overboard. Especially the ones on the flaming boat.
How do you manage to whiff so many scorching rays?
Wild magic.
So this boat is now, the anchor is pulled up on deck and it's starting to pull away. The gangplank is still on, but it's gonna fall because the boat is starting to move away without it.
Oh, damn it.
This dwarf here is turning and slinging his hammer at the marrow that's hanging off the one where you're fighting, Zeta.
Uh-oh.
Unfortunately, the hammer flies, but it just zips right over his shoulder and whizzes past your head by like a hand's breadth, almost catching you right on the horn.
Whew.
The old dwarf, though, reaches out and grabs the marrow who stabbed him in the back and starts hauling him up on deck. Because, hooray, dwarves!
Dwarven strength.
They don't get slowed down by grappling something.
Damn.
So the marrow will automatically break the grapple next round, but he still pulled it up on deck. Because he beat it in the athletics check.
Cool.
So out of the water, the marrow has disadvantage, trying to fight from flat on its belly. And it makes a sweep with its claws in your direction, Zeta, but
Whew.
it just ends up scraping a big gouge through the wood, throwing splinters up all over the place. And then snaps its jaws at the dwarf who grabbed onto it. He does hit. And gets a mouthful of dwarf leg. But, the stubborn old dwarf just seems more angry than wounded and starts punching him in the head.
Take that.
We get back to the top of the round with Remy.
How much I can do? Guess I'll just shoot an arrow over here at this guy.
Okay.
By the way, I think I've been messing up a little bit on some of the damages. Technically, if I have advantage, I get sneak attack damage, right? Anytime I have
Mhm.
advantage. Feel rusty with the combat. It's been a while since we had combat. Okay. I mean, you can kind of see
Fire.
how much damage I'm doing anyway, but
Yeah.
all right. So I don't know if that hits
That's a hit.
him.
Yep.
Awesome.
And
6
he is
damage.
grappled, so you actually have advantage.
Oh, I do. Okay.
Mhm.
Well, then I'll roll once more in case it crits. Not quite. Pretty close. Oh,
But
I
it
didn't
does
mean to
hit
roll
with
twice more.
sneak attack.
Right. So,
So that's
50 damage.
15. There's kind of a dull thunk as the arrow burrows in at the hinge of his jaw. But
Alright.
half of the shaft of the arrow is just buried inside the side of his neck.
Alright. I don't need to have to stock up on arrows next time soon, but yeah, I'm alright. I always have daggers as well that I can throw.
It does
Alright,
have
that's it
advantage
for-
because of blood frenzy. Sorry,
No, that's okay. Go ahead.
there's just a lot of stuff to get through, so I want to keep the combat moving, and I'm getting a little bit overeager.
Go go.
No, there is a lot of.
A lot of fish friends.
So the shark behind yours, Zeta, behind Fluffy, chomps into his tail,
Oh no!
just ahead of the fin, and like tries to savage the tail, but doesn't put Fluffy down. It just hurts. It puts up more blood in the water. And that brings us to Wilfred.
So I have two options, guys. Either I jump back in the water and help Fluffy, or I jump on the boat.
Save Fluffy!
Do you shot this? Alright, well, I think you guys got that marrow handled, so Wilfred gets up, does the, you know, like that Christian cross thing, you know, where you move your hands to your head, lower stomach, or right, and then
Catholic sign of the cross.
yeah, do that, and then hops to where he sees movement into the water, past the
Okay.
floating sanguine body. Not sanguine.
I'm just gonna
marrow.
say roll a straight d20. This is more luck than actual skill or
Okay.
knowledge.
Here it goes. 19.
So, Wilfred, you leap into the water, and there's a splash as you sink all the way down. And then land, you feel something between your legs as you end up straddling Fluffy right behind the dorsal fin, facing the shark that's chomped into him.
Well,
You can just barely
going
make out
to-
shapes in the water as it's almost as much blood as it is water around you right now.
oof. Well, I see this shark, and I don't like how it's biting Fluffy, which I'm assuming saved me because I saw the marrow bit in half. So, since I can see him, I'm gonna feint attack him and stab him in the eye.
Okay,
So
make an
lose-
attack roll. You have
It'd be normal.
disadvantage for swinging in the water, but it's normal because of the feint.
Yes, so I stab at the shark.
And that's a hit.
So, haha, and then a D8. for 19. Let go of Fluffy, and then you just hear. Brrr.
So you make the thrust, and sharks, as you're learning now, have really thick skin, so when you thrust, you expect, like, when you stab an orc in the head, your sword goes all the way through its head. And you're expecting pretty much the same, but then your sword goes in and then just kind of slides along its back, opening a deep gash on top of its head, but not, like, going straight through.
Alright, well, I pat Fluffy on the back, like, let's fight them together, Fluffy, and you just hear. Brrr, 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 brrr. So I'm gonna put myself right here.
Mm-hmm. And then the rest of you see the next furthest boat ahead is starting to list and tip front first into the water as well, like the last one did. Kamal, seeing the boat coming up behind him, swims back partway and grabs onto the rope ladder hanging over the side and starts to pull himself up. And finally this boat is starting to move forward.
That's a lot of people on that boat. Well, carcasses and people.
Yeah, 2 dead bodies, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 total people, if you count the Mara.
Yeah.
And that gets us back to Zeta, as the boat is just starting to lurch from the dock. Mhm. From what you remember, Moonbeam didn't seem to really do anything to your environment. But you last used it when you were in a dirt cave. You're really not sure. You haven't done much fighting underwater. Or even just really close to water until now. It's a bonus action to cast Shillelagh, but an action to attack with it. Okay. So unfortunately that doesn't hit.
Ugh.
You make the swing, but you've got a little bit of a funny angle and it just skips off the top of his head instead of actually getting a clean impact.
Help me, Fluffy.
I'm gonna try. I don't know how damaged he is. I'm hoping he's damaged. Maybe my Thorn Whip can rip him in half.
I don't think you can use that this turn.
Thorn Whip is another action.
Oh, shit.
What you could do is use maybe use Healing Word on that guy that's down.
Yeah, that's something you could do.
Or on
That is a good
yourself if
idea.
you're still not full.
Yeah, I'm not full.
Yeah, you could heal yourself too with a Healing Word.
Alright, let me do that.
Okay.
Alright, that brings me back up to 26. And that's all she wrote for Zeta.
Don't forget, Fluffy.
Oh, Fluffy, yeah. Well, right now, Fluffy's listening to you, Wilfred.
Wait, don't you command him though?
But aren't you riding him?
Yeah, technically.
So, like... I mean, he's gonna go towards whichever is closest that needs to get killed. Which is the shark that he's been fighting for a while.
Right. I'm just along for the ride, basically.
Pretty much, yeah, it seems like. So Fluffy goes to attack the bloody mouthed tree shark that's left.
Okay.
You can do it, Fluffy.
That's a hit.
Nice bite.
Nice. Oh, that's good.
16, wow.
So wheeling around after being chomped into on the tail, Fluffy just bites down on the side of the other shark's face. Keeps sinking in on the top of his head and underneath the side of his nose. But, sharks seem to basically just be like swimming tanks. Because they're taking
damn.
a lot of punishment, and they dish a lot out, but they're still not done.
Dang.
We shall deal with him.
That gets us back to Luthien.
Okay. So, level 2 Scorching Ray. I'm going to fire one off at him, since he's just continues to not die.
That's a hit. Okay,
I'm gonna shoot another one off at him.
that's a hit.
And I'll
Okay.
fire a third one at him. Oh, hoo-hoo.
That one's not a hit. Just blasts off into the dark. Well, into the rain, I guess.
It's alright. Hit him with two of them. It's better than last time where two of them were fucking nat ones.
Exploded.
It's true.
Dude.
You meant for them to explode.
Well, of course.
And taking her own throwing hammer, the female dwarf flings it at the Sawagan up here, which hits,
Nice hit.
and it cracks him in the back, making him let go of the steering wheel for a moment, turning to look back in the direction of, well, the hammer that just slammed into the middle of his back. And the dwarf here helps pull Kamal back up onto the boat, while the one over here starts tending to the wounded. And stabilizes him. And the last Marrow is starting to realize the predicament he's in, and gnashing his teeth, attempts to flop back towards the deck, or towards the edge of the deck, and roll himself over the side. So Zeta and the dwarf both get opportunity attacks on it.
Ooh. Just going in for the bop. That's not good.
It's okay, you did your best.
Unfortunately, that's not a hit. And while the older dwarf makes another swing as he's he's pulling himself over the side, the pick just digs deep in the flesh and then tears a big chunk off as he slips into the water and splashes back under the waves. This is just about the end of the encounter. So it's back to you, Remy?
I say in Dwarvish, oh, why are we sailing towards that creature? Pointing at that thing over
Why
here.
wouldn't we be?
And then I fire, I'll fire an arrow at this guy.
Okay. We're trying to save the boats, is Kamal's call back to you.
I missed.
So like the
Probably.
one we set on
Yep.
fire and the one the shark ate?
Yeah, the one that the shark pulled under the water and the other one that's going under right now.
We're doing a fantastic job.
Yeah, the one that you were thinking of setting on fire. Good thing you didn't do that. Alright,
He did set one on
Uh?
fire.
This one
Yeah.
is on fire.
That thing
Yeah.
is like
Oh.
Yeah, it's on fire.
Oh no.
I'm
Yes.
not paying for that.
You did say that when I set it on fire.
uh, I'll just stay on this boat. I'm good.
Okay. So Angry Shark makes another chomp at Fluffy.
Oh, poor Fluffy.
And chomps really deep into one of his side fins and next to his gills. So Fluffy is reeling and almost done, like there's not much left that he can do. And that gets to you, Wilfred?
So Wilfred first rights himself because he's facing the back end of, well, the tail fin of Fluffy. So he turns around, sees this shark bite his new best friend, and then he aims at it and tries to stab it in the eye.
Okay.
So feint attack again. Longsword, please, no whammy. Yes!
That's a hit.
That's not very good, but they got the D8, so here we go. 8 damage.
So the point of your sword strikes just beside the eye, and you gouge another deep cut down along the side of its face, and you see where the flaps of the gills are cut through and kind of hanging loose, separate from each other.
I'm
This
not
shark
done.
is looking even worse off than Fluffy, but not by much.
I'm not done yet. I'm going to spend my accent surge. It shall die. So I spend my accent surge and basically do the whole thing over again.
You don't get another bonus action, though.
Really? I thought it did.
No, you just get another action for action surge.
On your turn, you could take an additional action and a possible bonus action. Oh wait. Oh, because if I'd used it. Okay. Well, I guess I'll just use a different superiority die. So I'm just gonna attack with this.
I
Oh,
might
sorry?
have that wrong, but I'll take a double check. You have one additional action on top of your regular action and bonus action.
And a possible. So.
It's if
Okay,
you have
so-
something that you can use your bonus action for, like action surge, then you can use your bonus action and regular action. Action surge just gives you another action.
Okay. I will still spend this superiority dice if necessary because I want to do a precision strike because I'll be attacking with disadvantage. So here comes the swing. If it's low, I might spend the superiority die. So I'm gonna spend the superiority die just so that's not a crit fail.
Okay.
So D8. So that's a 3 instead of a negative, or instead of a 1. Oh, not good. Fluffy!
So you make a second thrust. But unfortunately, with all the bucking around underwater, you thrust and it just goes wide.
No.
Mm. So Kamal spends his turn using Cure Wounds on the injured female dwarf, and then shouting orders to the other two to head towards the burning ship. And we get back to Zeta.
Is the Marrow still on deck?
No, he just managed to pull himself over the side back into the water.
I wonder, can I see him?
You can see where you went, so enough that you could make an attack, but the water is full of a lot of blood, so it's pretty tough to tell exactly what's going on.
Could try to hit him with the moonbeam.
That's what I was thinking. It's 5-foot diameter. I may or may not hit him, but that's what I'd like to do, yeah.
Okay. And he's so low on health that it doesn't even matter if he saves.
Oh, good.
Bling.
So a silver column of light pierces down from through the clouds. And it's like, oh, I have to check the calendar again, because I put the cycle of the moon on there.
Can I see
Cool.
this laser underwater?
You'd barely be able to make out like a lighter pillar ahead of you.
Cool.
So it's a half circle. It's a half moon.
That's
that you
pretty
see
cool.
piercing down through the clouds, punching down into the water and searing the marrow under the waves.
Woohoo!
Finish him, Fluffy.
And that is the end of combat.
Is it? I thought we had like 11 dudes still up there.
And this shark.
They're all fleeing underwater.
Oh.
All of them dove overboard once the boats reached the edge where the Megalodon could get them.
Do I still fight this shark?
Yep.
Yeah,
That's the only thing
Fluffy
that's left
will
to
want
do.
to attack too, of course.
So where was... Yeah, so I skipped you by accident, Zeta, so Fluffy gets to attack and then...
You would need the shark, yeah. There he is.
Yeah.
Look at that
So
smiley.
Fluffy gets to attack first.
Come on, Fluffy, you can do it. Just one more bite, buddy. Oh,
And that's a hit.
can you do that again, please?
Hit. Yes! Good job, Fluffy.
And chomp, chomp, chomp. Fluffy just rears back for that split second and then lunges in. And the jaws clamp shut around the side of the other shark's head while the jaws are closed. And there's a moment where he's just teeth in, and then his jaws squeeze tighter and the whole head starts to crunch and cave in. And he bites
Whoa.
almost completely through until there's like this huge chunk gouged out of the top of the head.
Fluffy just went for the brains, basically.
I stab it
Wow.
off
There's
the
not really a throat to go for on a shark, so
So I pat Fluffy on the top of his head. Good job, Fluffy. But it comes out as a.
I imagine Fluffy likes scratches.
I can't wait till I pop out of the water.
so it's not long after that that everyone is not exactly celebrating, but Kamal and the female dwarf both jump onto the other boat as soon as you reach it, straight into the flames, and start trying to fight the fire to rescue what they can. The Sawagans seem to have retreated.
Can I make it rain above the ship with Druidcraft?
It is already raining really heavily because of the
Oh,
storm.
okay. So, it's not gonna help.
It's not really gonna change a whole lot, no.
Gotcha.
I can't select the circle.
Can I tell Fluffy to go get really splashy over there?
Yeah, you could try.
Well, Fluffy ought to get... I think I'm going to tell Fluffy to get Wilfred out of the water.
You could just tell him to rise to the shore. Or to the surface.
Fluffy, bring my buddy back.
As soon as I pop out of the water, I'm gonna shout, "The Shark Warrior returns!"
Zeta goes to the back of the boat and scratches Fluffy on the nose. Good Sharky Sharker.
I have mastered underwater combat! Or at least shark
It's
riding.
kind of hard for a shark to express any kind of gratitude, but you see kind of like rolls side to side a little bit when you're scratching the top of his head.
I just figure like maybe a little tail wiggle and yeah. It's pretty subtle. It's not like you can go by facial expression.
Zeta, I like the shark.
He's awesome.
I shall name him Fluffy.
I already named him Fluffy.
No, too bad I named him Fluffy first.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I mean, I didn't hear you name him Fluffy, so... I think I was deaf at that point, but... His name's Fluffy, that's all that matters.
I'm glad we agree on this.
Definitely. As I sheath my sword and just hang on to Fluffy still.
You staying in the water?
Hey, I'm pretty comfortable here, riding on top of shark. It is a very manly thing to do. Hey, I just fought a shark, and whatever the hell that is, I point to the Marrow's corpse while wielding a sword underwater. Remember? So anyways, what do we do now? As I kind of pet Fluffy.
Well, we probably ought to help them put out the fire.
Yay! I can erase the square.
Hmm?
I can't get rid of the circle, but I could get rid of the square.
Ah. Is that shark still here? The giant
the one
one.
that's dead?
No, the giant
Oh.
megalodon.
Sort of.
Can I
It's
see it?
off the drop-off. Not really.
No,
You
never
saw
mind.
it for a moment because there was a massive lightning strike behind it.
I asked it, Zeta, what is
What's
that?
up?
And I point towards that where the shark was.
It looks like a giant shark. Like bigger
I
than
know,
Fluffy.
But sharks aren't
Maybe.
supposed to
Oh,
be that
no.
big.
No, I haven't seen too many sharks. Really, Fluffy's the only one I spent any time with.
And even that hasn't been very long.
Right? And you spend more time with Fluffy than I have, Wilfred.
He's a true companion. Or is it a she? I don't really know.
I would think it's a he. So that makes it even more stupid to name him Fluffy, which I like.
Alright. So, you want to... Do I command this thing? Do you command it? Do you want to move over there so we can help them out and see if everybody's okay?
Yeah, sure. Hey, Fluffy, take Wilfred where he needs to go over to the other ship, please.
And then I shout, onward! And I
You're
asked
riding a
Remy,
shark.
So,
I asked Remy if he's
pretty
okay.
much what everyone else sees. Pretty much what everyone else sees is just like Wilfred from the waist up, surging through the water with the shark's fin right behind him.
Hi, Remy. I made it.
Oh, hey, what's up?
I'm riding a shark.
Yeah, okay, cool.
It's pretty cool. I give him a thumbs up as we move over to the other ship. Do I see the bard guy?
Yeah, he's up on deck trying to put the fires out.
I'll run over and, try to help him out.
Fluffy, can you splash water on the ship? I look down and pat him.
I don't think Fluffy understands you.
No, he doesn't.
Oh,
He can only talk to me, or I can only talk to him.
well, that's okay. I pat Fluffy on the head. I'm like, that's okay, Fluffy. We are friends in spirits.
He's not very smart.
Hey,
I
don't
don't-
you say that about my new best friend.
I don't think Fluffy's
think
gonna
he's on
think.
you.
No.
I mean, I love Ansel almost like a brother, but this shark, something about this
This
cold-blooded
shark-
animal.
So is riding the shark the same as jumping the shark?
Only if he comes out the water and jumps with it.
Yeah. If you make him do that, I'll still hold on. I'm like, ah.
Probably can't with you riding on him.
You can try. Anyways, I'm just gonna sit on Fluffy because I can't really do anything from down here. And I really don't want to get off the shark.
He only lasts. How long do they last? 10 minutes.
I think it's 10 minutes, yeah.
So you might not want to hang out too long on that.
1
shark.
minute.
Oh.
So,
It's
actually
probably.
about time now.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
No!
And suddenly Wilfred starts sinking.
Ah, damn it! As I, whoa, and I start swimming back up.
Thankfully, with the help of the rain, the ship's fire is under control relatively quickly. But the sail is completely burned away to nothing, and the top deck is pretty badly damaged. But the lower hold, all the cargo and everything is still intact.
Well, I climb up on the boat,
Goodbye.
look at the rest of the ships. Well, 2.5 ain't bad. He's like, hoist. Oh, wait. Can't. Remy, give me a hand here.
Oh yeah, all right.
Appreciate it. I look towards the bar and I'm like, do you guys do this every day?
Not every day, but most storms. Not usually this big an attack, but attacks are common enough.
Well, sorry about your other boats, but I doubt fighting a giant shark is a good idea. Whatever the hell that thing was.
No, and we're not like to dive all the way to the bottom anyways. Down there, they'd have too much an advantage.
I made it work. Fluffy was very helpful. But you're right, fighting somebody else on their own turf is probably a bad idea. No, it is a bad idea, never mind.
And it's probably the next about half hour that you spend bringing the boats back into dock. Sorry, I just had an update and my screen is all black so I can't see anything right now. I don't think I'm even on the same map right now. I have no idea what happened.
What?
I just got a video update, like an update for my video card,
Mm-hmm.
and now everything is all crazy.
Uh-oh.
I'm just gonna have to refresh Roll20.
But the update, though.
There we go. Okay, now I can see everything again. So like I said, it's the next roughly half hour everyone spends bringing the ships back into dock.
Before the ship reaches the dock, I like take a running jump and jump onto the dock.
Okay.
It's really weird. It's like I'm walking on clouds. My feet weren't even warm when I was helping them put out the fire. friend of mine gave me these new boots. They're pretty cool.
So you had 4 Sawagan bodies that you managed to capture.
How about the
The
marrow?
three-
Oh, right,
you-
we need the heads.
The 3 marrow, though, are underwater, and one of the Sawagan are underwater as well. Or actually, no, the top half of the one marrow is above water.
I'm gonna go fish that one out of the water.
Okay.
Come here, you ugly little freak. Ugly big freak. As I grab the torso and just start pulling it to land.
Or I could just cut the head off.
Well, it'd be tough to cut it off in the water.
Yeah, pretty much you grab it by the wrist while it's bobbing in the water beside the boat, and drag the torso up onto the dock, and you can deal with the body there.
As I'm dragging it back to everybody else, I'm like, guys, I think it's a common occurrence with me, just killing things and dragging them around, body parts around. Remember that giant eye? You know, Remy, the one I told you to keep an eye on?
Hey,
No, I don't. Yeah. I guess.
Yeah. Well, here's this big ugly thing. Let me just chop its head off.
great.
We should probably check on the rest of the town, though.
I think I'm just gonna go back to bed. Starting
That
to
sounds
feel
nice.
the effects of all the drinking from before.
And this is our usual quitting time. If you guys want to end now, we can, or we can keep going for a few minutes.
I'm down for a few minutes if everybody else is. Want to cash in this ugly mug, and I hold the marrow up by one of the tentacle faces on its face.
I'm good to stop here and start back up next week.
You're probably tired then, huh?
I am very,
Hey, how's your hand?
went to the hand surgeon today. He says I don't need surgery. It should be fine.
Oh, that's good.
So,
That's cool.
yeah, that was, they finally were able to take